We have an update in the case of two men who escaped from the ICE facility in Aurora this week. One has now been found and is back in federal custody. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm Jennifer Meckles.
I'm Alexandra Lewis. The arrest happened early this morning in Adams County, just north of Denver. Investigative reporter Jeremy Hohola has been following this latest development, and Jeremy found this man has now been charged with escape, and you attended his first court hearing this afternoon. What'd you learn there?
Yeah, that's right, Alex. Beyond what authorities are saying publicly, we have new details from federal court documents and what attorneys said during a court hearing this afternoon for the man who was arrested. The Adams County Sheriff's Office says they found Joel Gonzalez near Federal and 64th around 4:30 this morning. A quick recap here. Investigators say on Tuesday, Gonzalez and another man detained at the ICE facility in Aurora escaped during a power outage. That power outage caused the doors to the facility to remain unlocked, allowing the two men to walk through the doors and then scale a fence. According to court records we pulled, authorities found a trail of blood from the facility to a homeless encampment nearby where it ended. Then fast forward to this morning. The Adams County Sheriff's Office says one of their deputies found Gonzalez while responding to a suspicious person call. 2 hours ago, I attended the court hearing for him. A public defender in the courtroom today told the judge Gonzalez actually called authorities to turn himself in and wanted to give up information on the other escapee to get out of trouble. A spokesperson for the Adams County Sheriff's Office reasserts their position that they found Gonzalez during a report of a suspicious person who happened to be one of the escapees. The other escapee, Vito Romero Guilan Jose, is still missing. Back to you guys.
Still so many questions this afternoon, though, about how this happened and the response and the finger pointing yesterday between ICE and APD. I think we're going to be talking about this still for days to come.
Yeah, I think a lot of moving parts in this one here.
All right, Jeremy, thank you. Today, we saw some big crowds of people showing up in Greeley to see two progressive leaders of the Democratic Party, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, an independent who caucused with Dems, and a Democratic New York Congresswoman, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
And this is what it looked like outside from our tower cam on the UNC campus. Inside, though, that's what you're seeing now, hundreds of people showed up for this rally that Sanders has dubbed the Fighting Oligarchy Tour. The national campaign hopes to mobilize voters to challenge President Trump and the politicians that support his decisions. 9 News reporter Jaleesa Irizarry joins us live this afternoon. Jaleesa, they chose Greeley for this for a very specific reason.
Yeah, Jenny and Alex, Senator Sanders planned these events in districts in which Republicans just barely won last November. And that includes Weld County, where a couple of the political seats flipped to red, including the U.S. congressional seat that was once held by Yadira Caraveo. That went to Congressman Gabe Evans. He won that by just 1%. But right off the gate, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, or AOC, went after Congressman Evans, telling the crowd they deserve better. Evans has yet to host a town hall with the people he represents, something the Democrats have been asking for, to talk about cuts in protections and services. Senator Sanders focused on the working class and topics that matter to them, like health care, the economy, and constitutional rights. With these rallies, he hopes to harness the anger and frustrations some voters have with President Trump's administration.
So if we stand together, are strong, are disciplined, are smart, I have every reason to believe, deeply in my heart, that not only will we defeat Trumpism, but we can create the kind of nation that we deserve.
Now, Senator Sanders and AOC are hosting another event in Denver that's expected to start in about an hour at Civic Center Park. Reporting live in Greeley, Jaleesa Irizarry, 9 News.
Plans to cover that as well tonight, Jaleesa. Thank you. The CSU Rams are moving on. The next round of the NCAA tournament. They beat Memphis 78-70 this afternoon. Our Chris Tavares was there for all of the action. He'll join us live later this hour.
First, though, our Northern Newsroom reporter Amanda Gilbert joins us live from Fort Collins. Amanda, you watched along with some fans. I mean, just such a great afternoon for them. I know the kiddos are heading into spring break. It doesn't get better than this Friday.
Oh, that's right. I'm a little bummed, though, guys. Those empty tables behind me, they're giving you the wrong picture. Things have kind of cleared out here at Lucky Joe's in Fort Collins in the past hour and a half. But I promise you, when CSU won, people were singing here, the tables were full, there was so much green, it felt like St. Patrick's Day again. Lucky Joe's is one of several places that had watch parties in Fort Collins and in Denver. They said it was just such a great crowd. They had some specials, but they really feel it was that game that brought all of these people out here. I spoke with one family who even let their kids miss a little bit of school before spring break because they're that big of Rams fans.
My husband and I both graduated over a decade ago, so yeah, the kids are really into it too.
It was just so much fun, and I asked Lucky Joe's if they plan on having another watch party when the Rams play again on Sunday, and they said, "Are you kidding?" Of course. So they get a little bit of rest before gearing up for another party coming up in a few days. In Fort Collins, Amanda Gilbert, 9 News.
Yeah, Lucky Joe's is going to cash in on this. Come on. You'd be
they
crazy not
should.
to. Thank you, Amanda. And in our next half hour, we'll check in with, again, Chris Tavares. He's live in Seattle today with the team.
Hey, let's talk weather. This weekend is here. It'll be kind of the tale of two seasons. We're watching all the things. Here around the metro area, we're looking warm, even with some fire danger in the forecast. But when you look to the west, the mountains are expecting some more winter weather with snow in the forecast as we take a live look out at the mountains. Corey Reppenhagen is joining us fresh off of his spring break vacation. Welcome in, Brent.
Hey, thanks a lot. Yeah, just got in from the Texas coast this morning, spent a little time on the beach, and I'm back here with some typical spring stuff going on, which means wind, fire danger, and snow. We've got it all coming our way. Nice day here in the metro area. Temperatures pretty mild here in the 50s, still in the 50s right now, 55 degrees at the 9 News studio. Here's what your day looks like in Denver tomorrow. A fair bit of sunshine, warmer temperatures into the 60s, some clouds, and the winds are going to be a factor tomorrow, especially in the afternoon and early evening hours. Rest of the Front Range temperatures looking pretty good here into the 60s. So at least the temperatures will be pretty comfortable, but that fire danger will be there with those mild and breezy conditions all across the eastern half of the state tomorrow. The snow from the same system that's going over our heads tomorrow will create a little bit of snow in the high country, about 24 hours worth of snow. Could see a foot on some of the mountain passes. And we're also talking about a pretty big warming trend going into the week where we could see some 80s and some record high temperatures. That's all information coming up in the full forecast.
80s. Can you believe 80s?
Oh, I'm ready.
Okay, so the man who shot 4 people at the Denver Nuggets championship parade back in 2023, we found out today they'll spend decades in prison. A judge has handed down that sentence as of this morning.
Now, cameras were not allowed in the courtroom, but our Kevin Vaughn from 9 News Investigates was in the hearing, and he brings us this report.
What started in jubilation after the Nuggets' first NBA championship turned tragic in this moment. The moment gunfire erupted near 20th and Market Streets, sending police officers and partiers scattering, and 4 people to the hospital with bullet wounds. For one man, it ended this morning, symbolically at least, at the Lindsay Flanagan Courthouse. Ricardo Vasquez pleaded guilty in January to attempted murder and a drug charge and was in court for sentencing. According to court documents, Vasquez and another man fought, then pulled guns. At today's hearing, prosecutor Kim Falone described what happened next. The defendant engaged in a gunfight where he shot bullets into a crowd of people. These people had nothing to do with the fight the defendant got into. Vasquez, who was shot in the hip, said he went to the aid of his brother, then acted in self-defense. To the innocent people that got hurt, I'm as much a victim as they are. I'm the first victim. But the final words belong to District Judge Martin Egelhoff. They appear to be totally innocent victims who just happened to be there when bullets were flying all over the place. Egelhoff then handed down a sentence agreed to when Vasquez pleaded guilty. 35 years in prison. Reporting in Denver, Kevin Vaughn, 9 News.
The man suspected of being on the other end of that gunfight is set to go on trial next month. He faces 2 counts of attempted murder and 2 counts of first-degree assault. The third man involved is serving a 1-year prison sentence on a weapons charge.